the cables should never be on top of the machine. They should be at the side, yeah? And they should never be on top of the plug. They should be under the plug and there. The first thing that you check is if the plug is all the way in. And you also check if this switch is 230. You need to come around to show. Okay. So the plug has to be all the way in, and this switch has to be at 230. That's very, very important, okay? And then you also check this timer, so you know that nobody has used the machine during the night. Like the cleaners are not here partying with the machine. Okay, all right, so now at the front, okay, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons, right? Let's start from the easy ones. This is the contraction time. This means when you have it here, you're going to have a contraction of 8 seconds. Nobody can have a contraction of 8 seconds because that even the most expert athletes can do like much less than that, okay? So you want to have it here because that's the greatest advantage of the machine. That's why you have this number here. That means what Gestalt 8 means, it means that it will affect your entire health because of this 8 seconds contraction that it does. And it's going to basically give you a health status that you would have if you were in the gym for very, very long days and days and days, okay? This one is your rest duration. This is when the light is red, that is in effect. So here, you leave it here just so you know how to turn the buttons on, okay? But you see what I just did? If you're in a hurry, you're gonna go like that, and this is gonna be very high for the patient will jump. So as your finger is gonna go there, but then you have to go down again, okay? Let me start the machine. It's not on. Okay. Now it's on, okay? So I have this because I want to turn all my buttons on, but you see how I go back down, yeah? You understand that, yeah? I only do it when the light is red, so the patient does not get confused. So let me start it. Now, if I press the button here, the machine won't start because the lights are on. So I have to turn it, I have to turn all of those where there is no light here, right? And then I press the machine, okay? You can hear the fan, the machine is on, you see the green light. I'm gonna wait for the red, and then I'm gonna go. And I'm gonna wait until it's red again. And I'm gonna do the other four, okay? Now I'm gonna turn this all the way to 2. So now I have an 8 seconds contraction time and only 2 seconds rest time. Okay, that's very, very important. I'm gonna start my detox. It's gonna be on this side. You see that's the lowest setting because you see, this is the highest, this is the lowest, yeah? And over here on this side. And these buttons are going, one is going clockwise, the other one is going counterclockwise. Okay? You know that. Okay. Now, say for somebody like you that is very thin, all right? This has to do with depth, all right? It has to do with how much depth you have there. Okay. So, because your depth is not like that, it's like this, okay? I'm gonna, instead of leaving this here, before I start it, I'm gonna go like there, okay? So I'm gonna start it a little higher because you don't need that much depth. It's gonna penetrate over here, okay? You can start it there too. If you're older and I know that you have visceral fat, then I'm gonna start there. If you see her size that she has a bit of a visceral fat here, then I'm gonna start there. It might be very strenuous over there, Okay, so if it's very strenuous, I'm gonna go here, right? Slowly, of course, only when it's red. And then when it's red, I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna wait a couple of cycles, red, green. And then I'm gonna turn this, yeah? And then I'm gonna turn this, and I'm gonna go every 2 of these, I'm gonna go and do all of those, okay? And then I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna start focusing on what I want to focus. Normally, the deeper muscle and the visceral fat are gonna be the area that people need. It's the visceral fat that is their problem. Even when they're thin, they got their belly. And the reason why is because there is the fat that is under the muscle, okay? So this is the area that I'm gonna focus the most, all right? Here, again, I'm gonna go all the way. Now, if all I have on this side is detox, if I have used all of these channels for detox, then I have to go up to here. I don't have to go further down. But most of the time, I'm gonna use some of these channels for the belly and the buttocks. In that case, I have to go all the way around. Do you understand the reasoning? Do you want to say it in your own words so I know that you basically have understood it? Yeah? You understand it? Yeah? Okay, so let's have somebody here. I'm going to stop it now, and I'm going to turn it off. And then you're going to start performing from the beginning. Put the pads, put the cables, okay? The pads are also have a trick, okay? But this is very, very important to understand how to use this and why. That's why we have it. This is the deeper muscle. The whole machine builds muscle. The whole machine doesn't just build muscle, burns the fat as an energy source to give you your total health status. So your organs function better, you breathe better, your energy is much higher, you're more able, your immune system is acting at its peak, your hormones are at their peak, okay? That's why we call it Gestalt. Okay, and we call Gestalt 8 because it has this 8 seconds contraction time that nobody else has. You cannot even do it in the gym. It's impossible. Okay, and this is how you sell it. I have something here that is nobody else has because you cannot do it in the gym. It's possible to do 1,000 exercises and each one to last 8 seconds. By the time you've done like 50, 60, if you are well experienced, you're out of the game. Most people do 10 and they're out of the game, okay? So even if you're very experienced, you can do 100, 200, boom, you're out. You can't do anymore. But here, I can give you this far more intensive situation where you can get an elevation in your entire health. And that is what the Gestalt 8 means, okay? So you need to understand what it means, first of all. Gestalt means more than the sum of its parts. In other words, if I have more energy, if I have more muscle, if my immune system works better, if my organs are breathing better, I'm gonna get something more than if you added all these components together. I'm gonna get a longevity. I'm gonna live longer. My health is gonna be better. And that's what Gestalt 8 means. Okay? Okay, so let's get the subject. You gonna be the subject or who's gonna be the subject? She's gonna be the subject. Okay, so let's have you lie down.
I would like to go to toilet.
Okay.